Hi, this is Humblehus. How are you? I'm so glad you're here. We're going to make some cute rainbows today. Kawaii rainbows. As you know, kawaii, or as you don't know actually, kawaii means cute in Japanese. I am obsessed with those kawaii things. So I thought, let's make some more rainbows since I have yarn left over from my other video where I made that big rainbow pillow. This is the exact same yarn, but let me just tell you again, this is from Cotton Cakes. It's a medium 4 weight. It's like a white snow kind of color. And then I have from Joy DK 4 different colors, and these are light 3 weight. My crochet hook is a 5mm one, scissors, a yarn needle, stitch markers. If you don't have stitch markers, use a paper clip. And if you don't have a yarn needle, use any needle with a big eye. And for the face, you will need some type of black yarn or black thread, the thick one. Or if you have some eyes that, those that you pop in, I have some of those. It's completely up to you, whatever you have at home or what you want to use. Also for babies, you want to consider that, what type of material you're using, but any type of dark colored yarn will do. Let's start with a large rainbow. These could be best friends, they could be brother and sister, sister and sister, brother and brother, mommy and me, whichever one you like. And I'm going to start with the white, well, that snow color. We'll make a slip knot, make a little loop, insert your hook through that middle part, then grab it with your hook, hold on to these 2 ends, and pull. Then adjust the yarn by pulling on one side, and there you have your slip knot. We will chain 22. If you don't know how to do that, you put the yarn over your hook, you twist it, and then you pull it through that loop. So that is 1 chain. Again, the yarn over your hook, twist it, and pull it through that loop. That is 2. Make 22 of those. There are your 22 chains. Now we have to go back. This is 1 chain. And then here's another one. That's the second one. So we don't want to go into either one of those. We want to go into this third one. Alright, so from your hook, 1, 2, 3. Now you put the yarn over your hook and you insert the hook through that loop, and you yarn over again, twist, and you pull it through. That will leave you with 3 loops on your hook. And again, you yarn over your hook, you pull it through the first 2 loops. You have 2 loops left over, then yarn over and pull through the last 2. And that was your double crochet. Let's do that again. Yarn over. Now into this next chain. Not in here, right there. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, and yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. We're going to do that all the way back. It's going to start looking like this. So you should have 20 of these double crochets. And that is because we are not counting these two chains at the beginning. So you would count 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way back. Okay, even though we started with 22 in that chain, we take these away. We don't count them. Now we have 20 double crochet stitches. At the end of this round, you want to chain 2, turn your work. Now this is that first chain, and we're not going to work into that stitch. We will go into the one right next to it. So start by doing a double crochet, and you will go through both of these loops that you see right here. Then yarn over and finish that double crochet. There you go. You can add a stitch marker here into that stitch if you would like to, but you know exactly where your last stitch needs to be when you come back. Now we need to double crochet 6 stitches. We're not counting this first chain, so count from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and number 6. Now add your stitch marker here, after that 6 double crochet, because now into the next 8 stitches we will do an increase. That means 2 double crochets into the same stitch. So let me show you. Yarn over and you do your first stitch, that. Now again into that same stitch, you yarn over, do a double crochet. There you go. That's an increase. That's 1, and you need to do a total of 8 increases. So there's my second increase. There's 4 stitches in total, but 2 increases. So do that until you have 8 of them, 8 increases. I've done a total of 8 increases. This is what it will look like. Now you have 6 stitches left. Now if you want to remember where you ended with your increases, then add your stitch marker right here. So you know this is the space where you did all your increases. When you get to this part, it will look to you like you only have 1 stitch left. Remember, this was that chain of 2 at the beginning that we skipped? So you will go, this will be your 5th double crochet. Now you need to go into the top of that chain. That second chain, it kind of overlaps and there's a little entrance right there. That's where you insert your hook. But first yarn over, insert your hook, and do that stitch. Just make sure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you know you have the correct number. You should have a total of 28 stitches now. This is where we're going to switch colors. I'm gonna start with this, the lightest green of them that I have, or mint, or aqua. Okay, so take your yarn, pull it through. Now pull on that white yarn. You have a little loop right there. You will now chain 2 with the new color, turn, and you're not going to work into this stitch. We will go into the one right next to it. So yarn over, and there you go. Again, you can add your stitch marker here if you like, right there. Remember, you're not counting this one. Now do 28 of these double crochets. There will be no increases in this round, which is round number 3. You can take these off now. Here I'm almost at the end. I have, like I said, not counting this first chain. I now have I now have 27 double crochets, so I need one more. And you go into this top part. Sometimes it's not easy to find. There you go. Now chain 2 and turn your work. Working into that second stitch, we will again do 6 double crochets. Remember, do not count this one. Into the next 16 stitches, you will do an increase. Remember, so 2 double crochets into the same stitch. So 1 and 2. I'm going to put my stitch marker into that first one. So I know this is where I started my increases. After the 16 increases, I will do 6 more double crochets, 1 into each stitch. Like I said, you can put these stitch markers so you know, in case you had to count these, it's just easier to see where the increases start and where they end. Okay, remember here, it looks like you're done, but this is where you still have to make that last stitch into that top part. It looks almost like a knot in there. And it's not very easy to get through. Have to open it up a little bit. It's time to switch colors again. This was round number 4, the one that we just finished, and you should have 44 stitches at the end of this round. So for round number 5, this is when we change the color. Pull it through and pull on the old color. Now chain 2, turn, and work into that second stitch. Not this one, right there. Do your double crochet. You will do your double crochet all the way back. Again, you should have a total of 44 stitches. No increases in round number 5. Finish that last stitch, chain 2, and turn. We will start into that second stitch. For round number 6, we will also not do any increases. So double crochet all the way back. That was the end of round number 6. And by the way, after you're done with each color, you can cut it off. Let's switch colors. Chain 2. And turn your work. Again, we'll start in this on the second stitch with your double crochet, and we will do 6 of these. Remember, do not count that very first one. It's just 1, 2. Now we start with the increases. Into the next 32 stitches, we will do an increase. That was my first increase. Keep going for the next 32 stitches. There's those 32 increases. Now I have 6 stitches left, so we simply do double crochets into each one of those. At the end of round number 7, you will have a total of 76 stitches. Chain 2 and turn your work. For round number 8, we will double crochet all the way back. Not this one, into the second one. Okay, so remember, without counting this first chain, you will have 76 stitches going back. And now the last color. Chain 2 and turn your work. This will be round number 9. For the next 2 rounds, so like I said, round number 9 and round number 10, all you have to do are double crochets. There are no increases. You need to have 76 stitches, not counting this first one. And when you're done, you can fasten it off. This last one, just pull it through this loop. Now you need to do a second one of these. Right, you have the 2 sides. Now for the small rainbow, it's pretty much the same, it's just less stitches. Let's make a slip knot, chain 14. Now we will double crochet our way back. So remember, we skip 1, 2, and then on the third chain you will do your first double crochet and keep going all the way back. You will have a total of 12 double crochets. For round number 2, we will switch colors already. So we're not going to do 2 rounds of this one in the small rainbow, only one. Take your color, if you want to do it the exact same way as the large rainbow. Chain 2, turn your work. You skip this first one where the chain is, you go into that second one. Do a double crochet. Now you do another one into the next stitch. So you don't count this first one, you have 1, 2 double crochets. Now we will do 8 increases. So into the next 8 stitches, you will do an increase. So that means 2 double crochets into the same stitch. 1 and keep doing 7 more increases. Into the last 2 stitches, we will do double crochets, 1 into each. 1, and then remember the top of that chain, and 2. Now we will switch colors again. Chain 2, and now into that second stitch you will do your first double crochet and double crochet all the way back. There will be no increases here. 20 double crochets in this round. Let's switch the color to this one. You pull it through and chain 2. Turn your work and crochet into that second one. You will do, not counting the chain, this one over here, 2 double crochets, and then into the next 16 stitches you will do an increase. Now into the last 2 stitches you just do double crochets, 1 into each. This will be our last change of color. By the way, you should have had 32 stitches on this last round. Chain 2 and turn your work and into the second one. Do double crochets all the way until you reach the other end, and then we'll be done with this small one. At the end you cut it off and just pull it through that last loop and you're done with the small one. Obviously make 2 of them, so you need 2 of each, 2 of the small and 2 of the large ones. Now we will do the faces. We will only do the face on one side, okay? Before you make the faces, 2 faces, decide what type of face you want for each of the rainbows. So I'm going to use this one for the little one and this one for the large rainbow. Now I happen to have these eyes with their backing, and if you don't have them, you can just, like I said, do it with the black yarn. Okay, something like that. On every side that we have, so the 4 sides, 2 for the small one and 2 for the big one, we need to create a border, and we're going to do that with the white yarn. And you can start at any corner. Start right here, pull the yarn, chain 1, then single crochet into that same stitch and keep going like that, all single crochets. So just insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops all the way around. I'm just going to follow this side. When you get to this corner, you're going to do 2 single crochets into that stitch just to round it off. The same on this corner as well as this corner. I will meet you back over here. So we have done a full round of single crochets. You're back in this corner. I did 2 stitches in this corner, 2 single crochets. Now you will slip stitch with that first single crochet, chain 1, single crochet into that same one, but normally we would go through both of the loops. In this round we will only use the back loop. You can add a stitch marker here so you know where you are at. And then again, only that back loop. Go all the way around again, do 2 single crochets in the corners, and I will see you when you get back to your stitch marker. There's that second border. Repeat this process on all 4 sides that you have, all 4 parts. Now that we're done with our 4 pieces, now that we're done with that border, try to align the 2 sides as best as you can, and we're going to do this on both of the rainbows. So I'm going to show it to you on one of them, and then you'll do the same on the other one. You put all the loose ends away, like all the yarns, you thread them in, you line this side and this side. I'm going to start at this corner down here. I'm going to go around, and you want to align the stitches as best as you can. So I'm going to go ahead and go through both loops right here. I don't know if you were able to see that, those 2 loops, and then across from it, pull the yarn through. Now we will chain 1, and I wanted to give it a little bit of a raised look, so therefore we're going to do single crochets all the way. So we're not going to do slip stitch or anything like that. It's just, again, single crochet, but you have to go into that same stitch that you just went into through both sides, yarn over, pull up a loop, and there you have a single crochet. Now you line them up again, and you go into that next stitch, also across, yarn over and pull up a loop. Now the next stitch, you see that? Go in there through both loops, and also a cross. You will go in there through both loops and do a single crochet. You see that? You're going to keep going. Now there is a possibility that you might have more stitches on one side than on the other. Don't worry about it. This is what it's going to start to look like. So when you open it up, you can see that you have that raised edge. So I've done this bottom part, and then I've gotten to the corner, and on this stitch I'm going to do 2 single crochets to round that corner, and keep going, adding up your stitches, but do not get all the way to the end because we have to put in the stuffing. Now I'm going to start filling it in, and then little by little I'll be closing it off. You will do the same exact thing with the small rainbow, and then we'll be done with this. There you have the 2 kawaii rainbows. Aren't they cute? And I don't know, they can be best friends, or like I said, mommy and me. Cute, you can use them as little pillows, or your kids can play with them, or just for decor, give them as presents. So I'm happy you stuck through with it. Please join me next time. Subscribe to my channel to get the latest videos. Follow me on Instagram at Humblehus. I would love to see your projects. Tag me, and I will see you next time. This is Humblehus. Bye!